Good morning, everybody. Daniel Allison, the average dude. And if you're ready to get your mind right, you've come to the right live stream. First sip.
Does that happen here?
What happened here?
Do you get your mind right at 7:55 in this exact spot?
Every single day, same bat time, same bat channel, 15 minutes to a better day, Freddie. What you think about that?
I'm thinking that my favorite game show growing up was The Price is Right. Now, I don't know why that's jumping out at me today, but I used to love me some Bob Barker.
Hey, let me say this, folks. Freddie at Bobcat, he's the kind of guy, if you got something on your mouth, he'll tell you. That's a good friend. He will also tell you if you look like Bob Barker, which is what he told me right before we went live today. But thank you for joining us this morning, folks. Russ Hammond, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Russ.
We do this every single day, 7:55. Those of you, Russ knows. Russ is here just about every single day, but we invite folks in. And then much like Bob Barker, I say this right here. Come on down, right? And then I invite him on the stage here. But before I do that, Freddie, how about go ahead and do your thing?
First sip. Let's go.
Let's go. That first sip of coffee. Oh, so good. Hey, RB, Roebuck Builders, baby.
You know, it's a relatively new company trying to get off the ground and maybe do some buildings.
Yeah, I think they've done one or two.
Yeah.
Now they've got a great business development rep. We're going to meet him right now. Lee, come on down.
Do.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lee.
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's your responsibility, Lee Dumas, to get our minds right. So, do you feel the pressure?
No, I feel great. I'm ready to get your mind right.
That's why I wanted to have Lee on. Now, Lee, you do a lot of really cool things, and I wanted to find out from you if mindset is important or if there's a different mindset for each of these things. So, you're on the Greer City Council.
That's right.
Greer doing an amazing job. When's the last time you went to Greer, Freddie? Downtown Greer.
Oh, I get over there quite often to check out some customers, but that place has exploded.
It looks fantastic. It's really being done well. So he's got that. He does. He's got the business development for Roebuck Builders. And then he's got active kids doing sports and coaching sports and training. And we know how, and Freddie, you know how that goes.
Whew.
So is there a different mindset for each of those activities, Lee?
I guess kind of like anything that you do. I mean, you just kind of have to be yourself and show up and give the best that you have. And so I try to do that on all those fronts. And I'll admit it can be exhausting sometimes. It's a lot.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot. About the time you put down one hat, you're putting on another, aren't you?
That's right. And I think the thing that I've learned from all of this is it takes an army. You can't do it by yourself. And so I've surrounded myself with great people. You know, I appreciate the compliments for all the great things that are happening in Greer at Roebuck Buildings and then coaching as well. I mean, I couldn't do it without great people that surround me and staff. And so that's what makes a difference.
Well, now let me ask you this. Now, you and Freddie have something in common. You both played ball. You now both have sons that are playing ball. What's that like watching your son go through the same? You had all those same feelings, I'm sure, as you were playing. What's that like for you?
It is nerve-wracking. It is much more difficult to watch my son play versus me. He is the quarterback of our 10U team. We're playing tackle football this year, and it has been an emotional roller coaster for me as the offensive coordinator. So I've had this has been my most challenging year. I've coached him since he was 4 years old, and he's 10 now, and so this has been like I said, an emotional roller coaster for me this year. So it's a lot easier playing versus coaching. That's something.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Freddie, do you feel the same way?
Oh yeah. When we're out there and I'm trying to coach them kids through some basketball plays and stuff, you think that why don't you just do it this way? But everybody's different. Even my 2 kids are very different. And you have to realize that, coach differently. You have to take a step back, take a deep breath, and just learn how they're going to do things. Because it is different than how I do it.
Yeah. Now, is your son like you, Lee, or has he got a different mindset?
He is like me, but he's very independent. And so he likes to make decisions on his own. But I mean, that is what helps him to be a good leader. I mean, he loves, the feedback that I have, but he filters it and then and kind of interprets it in his own way. And I think he's much better and more prepared at this age than I was at 10 years old. I'm just really impressed and proud to be his dad. So.
I love it. I love it. Okay. This is the part of the show that we do this right here. If I can find the button.
Quote of the day. Quote of the day.
Quote of the day. Hey, so this is words of wisdom, Lee. This could be from a ball coach. This could be from an imaginary character. What do you have to share with us? Quote of the day.
Well, if you would have done this last week, I probably wouldn't have said this, but this week has been difficult for me. And so, and it's funny you let in with Rocky. I think about this all the time. It ain't how hard you can get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. It's not how hard you can hit. It's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And I thought about that. And then the second one was, and from another boxer, a real boxer, Mike Tyson, that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Oh gosh, I love both of those. Freddie, you want to take one and tell me what comes to mind as soon as you hear those?
Well, it made me think about what has been happening recently with all this storm cleanup and stuff. And Bobcat of Spartanburg, as busy as we've been, we have been punched in the mouth. We've had techs working overtime. The phones have been ringing off the hook. But I tell you what, the more we get hit, the more these guys push. And it goes back to Lee having a good team surrounding him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Getting punched in the mouth. And I was thinking about David Goggins. David Goggins, who's just an incredible athlete. He goes into that pain cave and he hangs out, draws pictures on the walls. But he was talking about that Rocky movie. And he said his favorite part is when Rocky has just gotten the crap beat out of him and he gets up one more time. And the look on that guy's face, it's I can't believe that he's getting back up. And that's almost as important. That drive to get back up is almost as important as having the skill of a boxer, isn't it? That never say die. I'm not going to quit.
Mm-hmm.
What did you play like that when you were on the basketball court, Freddie? Did you play hard?
I had to. It's the only way I could get on the court.
That's right. Yeah. But it is something. When somebody you take a hard hit, you come across the middle, Lee pops you, you get back up. That's what you got to do, right? You gotta get up quick. So I love that. What does it mean to you, Lee? I know you said you've had a tough week. Tell us about how you're applying that.
Yeah, we had this great plan. Back to Mike Tyson's thing here. We had this great plan. We had our first scrimmage for our all-star team this week. And we had this plan and we came out and played this team that was well prepared. We found out a lot of the kids were actually older than our kids. So physically they were so much larger and better. And it really wasn't apples to apples, but our boys came out and gave this amazing effort, but just absolutely got shellacked. And morale was down. I heard from several of the parents that a lot of the boys wanted to quit and didn't want to come to practice and this, that, and the other. But we showed up for practice last night and arguably had the best practice that I've ever seen in a long, long time. It was amazing. Thank you.
Wow.
And they just the fortitude and what they showed last night just impressed the hound out of me. And it was just amazing. It was like the calm after the storm, like Freddie was talking about with Helene. I know we all got punched in the mouth with that. I mean, I ran a chainsaw for, I think, 7 days straight. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. But you just respond. And then the community came together and we did these amazing things. And it's just when you go through these trials, you're just so much better for it.
I've got to throw in one final quote. We're getting three for the price of one today, but Nietzsche, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right? So anything that we go through, we make it through, we're going to be better for it. We're going to be stronger for it. And certainly we've had those things daily.
Get ready. It's time for the 2-minute skill.
2-minute skill is a 2-minute message. Lee at Roebuck Builders is the person today. Lee, the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, I just want to go back into, this challenge of being in business development. This is new to me this year. I started the role in January. And then also, like I was telling you, being the offensive coordinator this year. I mean, I came into this role so amazingly uncomfortable and really just didn't feel like I was competent and didn't feel like I could do it. And then I started thinking, okay, how am I going to get through this? 3 things I'd suggest: get a mentor, find somebody that has been there, done that, is better than you, and can point you in the right direction and encourage you when you're up, down, or indifferent. I thought about surrounding yourself with great people, realizing you don't have to wear all the hats that God created us all and made us all very different, and we can complement each other. If we form great teams, we can collectively do great things together. And then sometimes things are going to get tough and there's going to be hard knocks, but it's the ones that can show up and be consistent and do it day in and day out. Those are the ones that are going to be successful and are going to succeed. And that's just what I'd encourage everybody, is just stay the course. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than you think. I mean, I used to flip houses, and I'd look at a project and I'd say, hey, this is only going to take this long. And inevitably, it always took 2 to 3 times longer than I thought. But when you got done with it, it was always so rewarding. You could look back and say, hey, this is my work, and I'm proud of the work that I've done. And sometimes you just have to endure and just keep going.
Hey, I love it. Thank you, Lee. That reminds me of running. It reminds me of running any of these road races. I started doing the turkey trots here not too long ago. You look at it and you see all those hills and you think, my gosh, I don't want to do this. You get out there, you run a little bit, people are smiling. What the heck? I'm going to go ahead and finish it. And every time you finish the race and you feel fantastic. I don't care if you ran it in an hour or 2 hours, you feel good finishing, don't you, Fred?
Yeah, well, it's an accomplishment. And years ago, I know we talk about Grant Cardone sometimes, but he put out a little program called the Rules of Success. It looked like it was from 1989. He was standing in his backyard, but his number one rule was show up.
Show up.
Show up every day, show up. And if you show up enough, you'll figure out who's on your team and who's not, and you'll start building from there. And then as you get bigger, you'll realize, hey, I need a mentor. I don't always want to be the best guy in the room. I want to be in rooms where multiple people are better than me, and then you'll continue to grow, and then you'll continue to show up.
I love it. Hey, a couple of things here. I got to piggyback that one. Show up, be ready. If somebody called you, when I think about that, I used to think, well, where am I showing up to? If somebody called me right now and said, we need somebody to do this, you got to be ready. So showing up, sometimes it's just being ready to take that opportunity, right? If the opportunity presents itself, are you ready to strike? The other thing that I wanted to say, and man, I hope I can remember what it was, but no, not going to be able to. But sometimes that happens. Lee, what's on your mind this morning as you get ready to head into the day? Any last final words of wisdom? Oh, starting in new things, right? You talked about starting in business development, and that's hard, right? And something that's been on my mind, being around, sometimes in sales, it's easy when somebody comes onto the team that maybe isn't close to our position, right? We're quarterback. Here comes a punter. Hey, man, great to see you. It's a quarterback. He's got the same skills as I do, right? But I think that as I get older, working together, forming those people that are better than you, that have maybe they do play the same position, but hey, we make a new position. It's called all the good players get together, right?
That's right.
So that's where my mind went. This has been a lot of fun. I hope somebody out there gets something from this today. Freddie, do you got a little review for us? We said we were going to do a little review every day.
Here's what I'm curious of. He said when he started this position, it was uncomfortable. How did you flip it to comfortable?
There you go.
I don't know that I'm comfortable at this point, to be honest with you. I mean, It's kind of like you're saying, you have to show up every day. I mean, I was on conversation. There's a lot of investors that are moving into our area from the Northeast into the Southeast. And you both know that this area is booming right now. And we had conversation with him yesterday, and it was overwhelming. I mean, he was talking about a lot of data and numbers and different things that, that I wasn't really familiar with. And, I really had to lean on someone on our team that was on the call to kind of carry the torch. And so I am still learning. And I just, a lot of people you have conversation with, hey, this guy's really made it. I am making it every day.
Well, that's awesome. So here's the deal. Show up. And when you get hit in the mouth, get up and have a team around you to keep showing up.
That's right.
There it is.
That's right, Freddie. That's right.
Appreciate it, guys. Great show today. And
Daniel, thank you.
Let's roll. See ya.